Have you ever wondered why you keep repeating painful relationship patterns? Why do you keep apologizing even when you have done nothing wrong? The answer may have started long before you could ever remember it. Your childhood didn't just happen, it secretly programmed how you love today. The love you missed often becomes the blueprint your brain keeps searching for. Ethan never understood why he always chose partners who ignored his feelings. His father was distant, so that distance felt strangely familiar and comfortable. Psychologists call this repetition compulsion, chasing the pain your body already knows. Your brain doesn't chase happiness, it chases whatever feels familiar and known. If chaos raised you, calm relationships might feel boring, wrong, even suspicious. Noah grew up walking on eggshells around his unpredictable, easily angered mother. Now he apologizes constantly, even when he hasn't done anything wrong. Therapists call this pattern the fawn response, appeasing others to stay safe. As a child, Noah learned that silence prevented explosions he couldn't control. As an adult, he shrinks himself just to keep everyone around happy. This isn't weakness, it's a survival skill built long before he could talk. Lucas's parents praised him only when he brought home perfect report cards. So Lucas learned that love was conditional, something earned through flawless performance. Today, he can't rest, can't relax, can't accept even one small mistake. His inner child still believes rest means danger and failure means abandonment. This is called a core wound, a belief formed before logic existed. Core wounds quietly shape your partners, your career, and your closest friendships. Ethan's core wound whispered he was never enough to make someone stay. Attachment theory explains this clearly, and it starts within your first year. Babies learn whether the world is safe by watching their caregiver's face. If caregivers stayed consistent, babies grow into secure, confident, trusting adults later. If caregivers were unpredictable, babies grow into anxious adults craving constant reassurance. If caregivers stayed absent, babies grow into avoidant adults, fearing real closeness. Ethan is anxiously attached. He needs constant proof that he is loved. Noah is fearfully attached. He wants closeness but panics when it arrives. Lucas is avoidantly attached, keeping people close but rarely letting anyone in. None of them chose this consciously. Their nervous systems chose it instead. Childhood wiring happens before language, so you can't simply think yourself free. Your amygdala remembers the danger long before your rational mind understands why. And this is why logic never fixes anxious texting sent at 2 a.m. Ethan knows his partner loves him, yet his body still panics anyway. That panic isn't about him, it's about a father who simply left. His nervous system is protecting a 5-year-old who felt abandoned. Healing starts when you stop blaming yourself for reactions you never chose. Noah realized his constant apologizing wasn't politeness, it was simply learned fear. He started practicing one sentence daily, saying, "I don't need to apologize." It felt terrifying initially, like he was breaking an unspoken family rule. Slowly, his nervous system learned that safety didn't need constant appeasement anymore. Lucas began scheduling rest the same way he scheduled meetings and deadlines. At first, resting felt like failure, like he was betraying his worth. Over time, he discovered his worth never depended on constant achievement alone. These small experiments are called corrective emotional experiences, rewiring old childhood beliefs. Every time you act differently than your wound predicts, your brain updates. This is neuroplasticity in action, proof that adulthood can rewrite old programming. You're not broken, you are simply running outdated childhood software today. Recognizing the pattern is the first step, not the final destination itself. Ethan started journaling every panic spiral, tracing it back to its origin. He noticed the panic always followed silence, never actual signs of betrayal. Naming the trigger gave him power that blind reaction never could provide. Noah began setting tiny boundaries, starting with people who felt genuinely safe. Each small boundary proved the world wouldn't collapse if he said no. Lucas allowed himself one imperfect day weekly, calling it his practice failure. He discovered the world kept turning even when nothing felt truly perfect. This is called exposure therapy for the inner child, gentle and repeated. You don't need to relive trauma to heal. You need new evidence. Evidence that safety exists without perfection, silence, or constant emotional vigilance today. Your childhood self is inside you, waiting for new proof of safety. Think of your inner child as a scared passenger, not the driver. For years, that scared passenger has been grabbing the wheel during stress. Healing means gently taking the wheel back while comforting that frightened passenger. This isn't about blaming your parents. Most were repeating their own wounds. Generational patterns repeat silently until someone consciously decides to finally notice them. Your grandmother's fear became your mother's anxiety, which quietly became your trigger. You can become the person who breaks that inherited chain of fear. This work isn't easy, and it isn't fast, but it's absolutely possible. Ethan still feels occasional anxiety, but now he recognizes it within seconds. Noah still feels the urge to apologize, but he pauses before speaking. Lucas still craves achievement, but no longer confuses rest with total failure. Progress isn't the absence of old patterns, it's noticing them much faster. Every noticed pattern is a small rebellion against childhood programming still inside. It means you can become securely attached even without a secure childhood. Your nervous system stays flexible. It can learn safety at any age. This is hopeful news for anyone who felt permanently damaged by childhood. You are not doomed to repeat your parents' exact emotional patterns forever. Start small today. Notice one reaction and simply ask where it began. Ask yourself if this response is about now or something much older. That single question can interrupt decades of automatic, unconscious emotional programming instantly. You didn't choose your childhood wiring, but you can choose your healing. The child inside you waited for someone to make them feel safe. That someone was never coming until you decided to become them yourself. Every generation gets a chance to give the next one something better. Ethan, Noah, and Lucas didn't heal overnight, and neither will you, honestly. Healing isn't linear, it's messy, repetitive, and sometimes frustratingly slow to notice. Your childhood shaped you, but it never gets the final, unchangeable word. You get to write new chapters, informed by your past, not imprisoned. The 5-year-old inside you deserves the safety they never received. You can be the adult who gives that child real, lasting safety. If this resonated, you probably recognize yourself in Ethan, Noah, or Lucas. Comment below which story felt most familiar and why it hit hardest. Subscribe for more psychology breakdowns explaining the patterns hiding behind your habits. Your past explains you, but it never has to define your future. Many of your relationship patterns began forming long before you understood them. That's not a life sentence, it's simply information you can finally use. Use it gently, use it patiently, and use it to build anew. The child inside you already survived the hardest part. Now comes healing.